So what it is it's a unified marketing and sales process, because one of the common issues in any company is that marketing kind of does their thing and sales does their thing, and often they're siloed. So one of the first things that we said is this has to all be unified so everybody's on the same page. And it even goes beyond marketing and sales to anyone who's customer facing. So anybody who's doing project management or account management, who's working with a customer, we wanted to develop a process that could be used to capture new business as well as land and expand and help to expand existing relationships. So what we start with in the core of shared vision selling is what we call the 3 whys. So the first question is, why does somebody have to change? Because the companies that we work with are selling complex solutions that require change. And so you have to you're really selling change fundamentally. So when you go to someone and say, well, why should you change? And so you have to understand what their pain points are and understand if that's really a big enough issue for them to actually make the change. And then once you do that, then you have why now, which means, is it a big enough pain that there's urgency in the process? And then why your company? And what you'll notice is that why your company isn't the first thing. It's really all about having the conversation with the customer or the buyer, and really understanding what it is that they need. Sometimes people say to me, they'll say in the first meeting, I'll be meeting with a prospect, well, why is SalesSparx right for me? And I said, well, I don't know that we are. We have to have a conversation. I can tell you why we've been right for over 100 organizations and why we've been able to deliver for them, but I don't know that we're right for you. We need to have a conversation, understand what your needs are, and then if those needs align with what our capabilities are, then maybe there's an opportunity to work together. So that's the fundamental. So that's the core of it. And then what happens is that as you go through that process and the kind of supporting the buyer journey, you sort of have to go through phases. So the first phase is awareness, and that's really where marketing is focusing on understanding who the ideal customers are and starting to generate interest. And then that interest becomes, hey, I've raised my hand, I'm interested in learning more. Then your sales team takes over and qualifies it further to determine whether this is really the right solution for that organization and if there's the right fit. And then you go through a process. So the next phase is you go from qualification to discovery, where you really understand where they are, where do they want to be. And then really the secret sauce around shared vision selling is what we call ideation, where we've taken that from, we've sort of borrowed in our research from design thinking to really create that collaborative buyer-seller discussion.